Right, whenever you're ready, we're recording.
Recording now?
Yep.
Right now? Huh?
Action! So, welcome to, we're having a little chat today with a model called Kacie Belle. As people that follow me or watch what I do in my job, you'll know she's one of my favourite models. And I've got my wife, who's my right hand, who helps me out. So, let's have a bit of conversation.
Hi, my name's Kacie Belle, as just introduced. I've been shooting with Happyjack, aka Paul, Sarah, Chris, for about 2 years now, I want to say.
Is it that long?
Yeah, well, nearly 2 years, I want to say, at the end of this year.
Oh my God.
We've just finished an amazing shoot with an incredible model, Ashley Ray. I cannot get over how fantastic it was. We truly got some
Yeah, we got some great stuff.
It has been incredible.
Yeah. We're going to ask you some questions today. So me and Sarah, we always enjoy working with you. So we're just going to have a little conversation about a few questions. And the first question is, and I've got them written down because I'm absolutely useless at remembering things. What age did you start modelling?
I was 17.
17 years old.
Yeah.
Was it kind of, what made you do it? Was it difficult to get into it? What was the thought process behind it?
So actually I was asked by a brand, which I initially thought no way, because I was 17 with like braces and frizzy hair, and I was working like a retail job, not very popular, so I was like, no way, I can't do that. It was really daunting, but with some persuasion actually from my friends, I just thought I'd give it a go.
Do you remember the day that you did your first shoot? We were talking about this earlier, wasn't we?
Yeah.
Do you remember the day you did your first shoot?
100%.
Was it
terrifying?
Did you, when you went there, were you like, I mean, we've done a shoot today, and all three of us today, we're all anticipation of what we're going to do, and I was nervous. I lost a lot of sleep last night, and then we spoke about it later, and it was like, I was exactly the same.
Yeah.
When you did your first shoot, were you kind of really dreading doing it and scared and thinking, why am I doing this? And then when you finished, what was it like? Was you?
Yeah, so the night before I could not sleep either. I mean, I was texting my friends like, should I do it? Should I cancel? And actually, like, once it was done, I felt
empowered.
Yeah, that's it. That's exactly it. I felt like a different person because I realised that I don't know. It was nice to feel like in the spotlight, because if you're shy like me, you want to avoid it at all costs.
Yeah.
So it actually felt good to feel like, okay, I can be
almost
here.
in control.
I can hold that space and I can feel powerful.
And it's a case of, wow, is that me?
That's it. That's it.
Yeah.
That's exactly it.
Yeah.
So it was an empowering thing.
And also,
One of the things I love about
Yeah.
you and is the fact that even now you've been modelling for 5 years, I think. You come into the studio and the one thing you are not is a model. You walk in, you want anything, but we always laugh down when we always say, oh, we love Kacie. She walks in and you've got your little platform, Dr. Martens, darling, and you've got, sometimes you turn up in your boyfriend's
80% of the time,
oversized coat. It's like, it's really massive on you.
Yes.
And you've got no makeup on, your hair's not done, and you look anything but a model. And then you put your model clothes on, and you do your hair, you do your makeup.
Transform.
And then you transform into this incredible model that just goes. And there's a few models that can do that. The models I dislike shooting the most are like influencer models that turn up as if they're going to go on an evening out. They're already made up, they're already in, they've got like a glittery, sparkly almost evening dress on.
Yeah.
But I always know when I meet someone in reception and they really don't look like a model, I always go, yes,
Well, especially, I mean, you're travelling in the rain, you're getting the train, you're on a bus, you're in a car.
To be comfortable.
And it's like 4 a.m. sometimes when you're leaving. What's the point? You know, your job is here. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's
and whatever you do makeup-wise, it's probably going to be ruined by the time you get there anyway.
It melts off.
Yeah.
So your first shoot, it was kind of, do you remember what it was? It was for a clothing brand, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Do you want to shout them out or?
Yeah, so it's brand British Retro. They had me for about 3.5 years, and
I remember seeing those pictures, and I remember thinking, you've got this like Sophia Loren sexiness about you, but you've got this Marilyn Monroe sexiness about you, but you've also got this official like what was the name? I can't remember the name, but you've got like when I remember seeing you, you've got a pencil skirt on, and you were like really, and I thought, wow, she's different, completely different. So I remember those shots really, really well. And at the end of it all, what was you like? Was you absolutely buzzing at the end of it all?
Oh, 100%, because it's a long day of just making scenes out of a movie into a still image, you know, and the outfits, they force you back into that time period, so you become a different person. So by the end of it, you are buzzed, you've got that adrenaline, but then you're also like, you take a step back and you become yourself again.
So
it's playing a character.
I've said to you before, I know you act like you're an actress, and you act like an actress, and you, for the time, that certainly at the time you shoot with me, you play a role, and you play that role very well. When you go to a shoot, this question's a really awkward one.
We don't need you to name any studios or photographers in particular.
What can make you feel instantly comfortable or kind of instantly uncomfortable?
So that there's, the instantly comfortable, it's as simple as, can I make you a cup of tea? Can I, do you want a cookie? Or something as simple as that. Asking, is it warm enough in here? It's little things, you do not have to go above and beyond. I would love a cookie. It honestly is little things. That's when you know that there's a human side to both of you, because of it. I mean, it makes sense, but obviously on some shoots you really do feel like a product. So that's where I feel almost a bit uncomfortable. Is where you do feel disposable, like a product, and no one interacts with you. When the humanity's not there, that's makes you feel uncomfortable.
And that's simple things, really.
It is. It's the bare minimum, really. So.
I also, because I rent out the studio, sometimes I see that scenario where a model's posing and she's getting absolutely no feedback from the photographer, or it's like a 3, 2, 1 click. 3, 2, 1.
With no direction, and feedback.
And if you try to give feedback about the lighting or about something that you think would look great, then it's almost met with a instant negativity, sort of like. Whereas, like when we shoot together, like I've said to you today, and Ashley, I want it to be. There's 5 of us in the studio today, and I want it to be a collaboration of all of us all together.
Absolutely, I completely agree.
So the most uncomfortable is just when you feel like you're not being sort of appreciated and not being thought of as a human being. I would imagine.
Because that's all that everybody really wants. Do you know what I mean? You just want to be appreciated, being human. So I'd say that.
But I think if we invite people into the studio, and whatever we think we need to keep us going through the day, that's what we try and offer to the models as well.
And models will notice that straight away, and it's highly appreciated.
I've watched a video this morning, Peter Lenberg, and he was, I've got daughters, and so I always treat you as if how I would like my daughter to be treated. And I was looking at Lenberg this morning, and he got his arm around a model, and like in the photography industry, it's a no to touch models. And Peter Lenberg, he walks up to models and actresses and he puts his arm around them, and they know that they're safe.
100%.
And
there needs to be a level of trust.
There needs to be trust, and I see things where photographers are helping people with bra straps or underwear, and I think that's not the way to go forward. But on the same token, like I'll help you, like I'll get clippings from your hair, and I'll tuck it, if you've got a dress, I'll tuck your label in or cut a label out. So you need to feel trusted, you need to feel worthy to be there, you need to feel warm, and
there's got to be respectful boundaries.
Both ways.
Absolutely.
It's a two-way street, it's a collab effort, it's a group effort.
As a photographer over the years, I've absolutely felt completely, I'm big enough to handle myself, but I've felt over the years, I've felt sometimes unsafe with models.
Right,
I felt like
you've been evading.
You're not treated like a piece
I felt like I wish. I felt where the way they were with me was inappropriate, especially because I've got daughters, and the way they were with me is inappropriate. And we always give people good access to a good changing area and good things and make them feel comfortable. But I've had models make me feel uncomfortable. So it has to be like a two-way thing, and so the thing with that is that you work with a model once, and if she makes you feel that way, then you don't work with them again. But I'm not sure why they do it. I'm not sure whether they want the next job or whether they want to feel I don't know. It completely
I don't
confuses
know. I
me.
think sometimes maybe they've had experiences with other photographers and they feel as though it's expected of them to be a certain way.
I also think it's a bit of a power thing.
Yeah.
So the way that some photographers might try and overpower models with demeaning language and,
Yeah.
and like going up and touching them to say, oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think sometimes models do the same.
I think that as well. And you know,
Yeah.
sometimes Sarah's only ever been really jealous once, and that was when a woman touched my forearm. And it was such a personal thing, and there was no sexual innuendo, but she touched my forearm, and the way she did it, it was obvious that you was ready for killing someone, wasn't it? And so, like, it's that comfortable feeling.
Yeah.
When you look back, is there a shoot that was your favourite shoot you've ever done?
Oh my God.
And we spoke earlier, you don't have to say it's one with me.
Yeah.
But where, thinking back, where was one where you just thought, oh my God, I so loved that?
Okay, well, I'm not saying this because I'm here, but one of them is our Betty Page one that we did.
Oh God,
Yeah,
the images were amazing.
Because everything we got, we were on the same wavelength through everything.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I felt really confident and safe as well.
yeah.
But then also, everything went right.
Yeah.
So for
Yeah.
me, that was one of my perfect days.
Yeah.
We got some amazing pictures. And you literally, one of the things I love about you, you've got this actress vibe
You
to
just
you.
became.
You actually became Betty Page
Yeah.
for the day, didn't you? You actually became
Yeah.
that person. But I don't know how many times we've shot now. We've shot
We shoot
lots.
often.
Yeah.
Often.
Yeah, I think you, Ashley, and Lucia, I seem to be shooting you all the time. What about destinations? Is there somewhere that you've been that you thought, oh my God?
Yeah, quite a few places, I think. But I have two in mind, and they're very equal and similar. So this might not sound that impressive to some people, but to me, this is my happy place, and it's where I feel really happy. Country houses, country manors, whatever you want to call them, in the southwest countryside.
Yeah, like Somerset Wales.
Yeah. So I've shot in two beautiful. Well, one was abandoned actually, which was added a different element to
Yeah.
it because
It's
it was
eerie,
spooky.
yeah.
So you get to play a different.
But you've got,
role.
sometimes you get like a vampire vibe when you're working as well.
Yeah, which
And
I
I'm
love.
imagining, yeah, I know you do. You play it really well.
Thank you. So yeah, that added a completely different feeling because
Yeah.
obviously it is abandoned, it's spooky.
Yeah.
But then also I've shot in a beautiful manor house in the countryside, and it had such gorgeous views and beautiful art,
Yeah.
and I felt like this is mine. You know what I mean? Like in my
Yeah,
head, I lived there. This was my
And if you won the
living
lottery,
house.
you'd kind of go and buy exactly that property.
100%, yeah. And actually, it might not sound that thrilling, but to me, that's where I'm happy.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'd say yes.
But you're kind of, we're very similar. I know we do kind of glamorous jobs a little bit, but you're kind of a really simple,
yeah, very much so.
very easily satisfied
Yeah.
human being. Like,
Very
it's like we are. It's like,
You can
but I'm heavily into supercars at the moment. So I'm looking at, what am I looking at? Lamborghinis
Oh,
and
God,
Aston
no.
Martins at the minute. So that's quite dangerous.
Yeah.
But I've got no doubt that when I say to my beloved wife, who I love dearly, when I say to her, I'm so into, that it ends up usually at this a purchase not long afterwards. So we're going to get into that quite quickly. So.
I'm not getting into anything.
And this is,
Just let
if
it
you're
happen.
watching this, Matt Armstrong, this is all your fault. It's James Bataki and Matt Armstrong. You've caused friction in the family. Anyway, let's get on to the next question. But Lamborghinis are nice, aren't they? I don't know whether I'll get my belly in. What about an image? Have you got one image in your mind that you just go, you know, like if you had to have an image in the portrait gallery or somewhere or something, what would it be? Which one?
So there
One
is-
though, just
there-
one.
Yeah, I've got it already. So there's a shot, I think it is Peter Lenberg actually, and it's all the iconic supermodels from the 90s. So it's
Yeah.
Cindy, Christy, Naomi,
Yeah.
and it's
I know exactly which one you've
Black
got.
and
I looked
white.
at it this morning,
Yeah.
and they're almost leaning on each other
and
like you
they're
and
happy.
Ashley.
They're
Yeah,
happy,
absolutely.
They're feminine, they are confident,
Yeah.
and do you know what? I mean, the shoot I did today with Ashley was so much fun because I love working with girls. I love just building that connection and seeing how they work. And
Yeah.
so I think my ideal dream shot would be to have me and a bunch of girls who I really respect and admire.
Yeah.
And just happy and confident.
Yeah.
I love that.
Peter Lenberg always makes me feel inept. You know, one of the things that he does is he gets girls with, and I know I photographed you with no makeup on. Thanks for that, because that was amazing. And you looked incredible. Your skin and everything is just perfection. But you know, Peter Lenberg, he gets people with no makeup, very little, very little set clothing styles, and he just photographs them and they look incredible.
Stripped back.
But of all the pictures that you've shot, what's the favourite one of you ever?
Oh, me. Oh,
No, I was kind of trying to get towards that. Which one? When I said, what's your favourite picture ever, I thought you would say it was the one that so-and-so shot of me. But we just goes to show you, the reason we work together so well is we're on the same page.
100%.
Because that was, and we love the supermodels as much as we love the classic, the Sophie Lorenz.
Yeah.
What was the one where you took it and you saw the picture and you just thought, that's just the best picture of me ever?
But I'm going to sound like I'm just saying this because I'm with you, but my Betty Page shoot that I did in Happyjack, it seriously is, because you were generous enough to print 2 of those pictures off for me on high quality. It's big, it's HD, I feel so confident in that picture.
The amazing thing about that was that I looked at that picture and you were naked, I think.
Yeah.
And I looked at that and I thought, you know what, that would be amazing on like in London on a bachelor's penthouse floor. And then I thought, you know
or
what?
in a dressing room.
And then I thought, you know
really
what?
Glam dressing room.
Right.
To look
If
amazing.
a millionaire bachelor would buy that, then I like it to. So I printed it off, and I printed it off about 11 o'clock of an evening, and I put it almost for a joke, wasn't it? Really, you were fast asleep as well, wasn't you?
Yeah.
And
I'm always
I did 4 pictures. One of those I was intending to keep myself. 4 prints on A3+, and I put it up for sale. All I did was I put a picture of you and it said for sale. And then I woke up the next morning and I'd sold 2 of those pictures for £650 each. And that was like, this is mental. This is mental. And I realised then, even though I'm still not doing if you get pictures of the best models and you photograph them to your best ability, even if your ability is not like superstar photographer status, people will buy pictures of beautiful women in beautiful light. So that also is one of my favourite ones. I actually really love the ones when we made you into a space girl as well. But that was.
This is the thing. I find the reason I love our shoots is because I get to explore my limits and what I like. I get to find out more about myself because I get to be a blonde. I get to be mean. I get to be innocent. There are so many things that I can be, which you don't get to be day to day.
You've thrown me a few times with that because I know you're so sweet, and then I'll make you into this. We say we're going to shoot something like a dominant or powerful, and then you come into it, and I'm like, oh my god!
It's great for both sides.
Yeah.
You get the.
Oh, I get way more out of you than I ever expected. I really do.
But
I mean,
there's
been a couple of times. I sit in the kitchen on the cold kitchen floor with the fridge door open when I photograph you. It's incredible the way you work. As you know, I'm a massive fan. I've noticed that a lot of models these days, they're shooting from their own homes. They're not using studios, and a lot of models are photographing themselves and with cameras that they've bought and doing that. And I've noticed lots of tours. Models are touring them down there. Do you think that's a thing?
Absolutely.
And do you do many?
I've done a few, and I plan to do a bunch more this year. Actually, particularly around London.
Yeah.
Upwards, downwards from London, because you know what,
You're based in Bristol at the moment, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm based around Bristol. I'm actually looking to move to Brighton within a month or 2, which is really exciting. And which is great because then it gives me easier access to London, but also to it's an easy place to travel from, I think. But it's good because when you are in this job as a model, you are the product. So there's nothing for me to advertise. I don't have like little tinkery machinery bits. There's nothing I can advertise apart from myself.
Yeah.
So when I take myself on tour, I'm in charge of myself. How I look, who I work with.
The prices, you can set the prices.
Where I work, what levels of everything is in my control. Yeah. And I get to see the country. Maybe not lots of it, because obviously you're indoors most of the time. But travelling is so important for your mind. And I think if you can host a tour as a model, do it, because it's so much fun. Yeah. And you get to meet amazing people as well. Yeah.
And the opposite side of the coin is, as a photographer, like if I do a shoot and I'm not in the studio, I kind of feel really out of my depth for quite a while.
Right.
Like we shot in a beautiful hairdressing salon this week in the Cotswolds, and it was gorgeous, wasn't it?
It was lovely.
And I was really out of sync. I was like, oh! But luckily there were cake shops and a pub quite close by, so I felt quite at home. Let's get on to another. What does your average day look like? When you're not modelling, what's your average day like?
So actually coming back to you are your own boss, you control. It's really hard to draw a separation between work and life, and it's only been the past 2-3 months in like nearly 5 years that I've learned that separation. So now my day-to-day routine tends to look like really quite boring. You know, eat your breakfast, go to the gym, that kind of thing. Stay on top of chores, speak to your friends.
Yeah.
And the most important thing out of that is to make sure that you are pouring into your own cup.
Yeah.
Because
Which I'm the biggest failure
Yeah.
at doing that. I don't take enough time off.
Yeah.
I
was really saying that earlier.
Yeah.
You don't do enough as just what you love.
Just
you
to
know,
have fun.
Yeah.
And to be
that's the most
just to be
important thing.
Do you
at
find
home
that
with
people,
yourself.
Yeah, that's it.
and Sarah's rightfully sort of tells me that I need to spend more time doing it. But do you find that photographers find it's okay to sort of send you a message at 10 o'clock asking?
Oh, absolutely. And that's where you learn to draw the line. And
There needs to be a cut-off point. There needs to
that's
be.
it. And if you're like me, I hate seeming confrontational or seeming rude. But one thing I've learned is boundaries are so important.
Yeah.
So I will have pure admin days where I'm just constantly on the phone and I'm on meetings.
Yeah.
But then the days where that's not, or I haven't scheduled that in,
Yeah.
it's for me.
You have
It's
to
pouring into my own
absolutely.
cup, loving myself, looking after myself.
Yeah.
That's the most important thing.
And because I kind of know you really well and you're a friend rather than a work colleague, I know when you're having a few days to yourself, and even I don't, because you make it quite clear that you're having a time to
100%.
yourself.
Yeah, I say
And so I kind of
not
leave you
hearing from
alone,
me.
but I also like, I like watching when you're having a family day out with you or with your boyfriend or with your sister or something like, and like I saw your sister the other day having a milkshake and I thought, oh, bless, she looks such a little cutie. But it's one of the things I need to do is I need to take a little bit, you see I'll wake at about 4, so I'll go onto my computer at 4:30 and I'll do lots of emails, lots of text messages, I'll plan a shoot. And then usually I'll do that till about 9 o'clock of an evening. And then sometimes I'll get in bed and somebody will message me and I'll still answer it back.
But it's too much.
It's too much, and I realise that's.
And I've said you should have, like, if you go to work, you've got business hours.
Yes.
So just because you work for yourself and you work from home, you should still have business hours. So after a certain time at night, don't reply to people.
No.
So
reply in the morning whenever
last,
you're starting again.
That's it, yeah.
That's exactly what you need to do.
Even if they're from different countries,
it's very difficult.
the awkward part.
It's very difficult to do that when somebody wants a quotation for a job or.
But why should you do it at 11 o'clock? Why should you get out of bed to do a quotation?
The strange thing is, I've got out of bed to do a quotation for a hair shoot or for a beauty shoot, and I've done the quotation and emailed it to the person who emailed me or called me at 4:30, and they've emailed me back or called me at 4:45.
Yeah.
So there's lots of people like me that are.
Yeah.
And one of the people said you're in the 5 o'clock club. It's like admiration to be there, but I'm not sure whether it is, especially at my age. I've got a couple of questions. I've got one question that I'm not going to. Well, there's a few that Sarah asked me to ask you, but I'm not going to ask you that.
I'll tell you that in private. Yeah.
There's a couple of questions because obviously your figure is incredible.
Thank you.
Do you work out a lot? Do you go to the gym and do you keep really? I know you eat healthy because I buy lots of
naughty food.
And it's very rare you eat it because you always think, you know what, I'm fine. But do you work out? How do you keep your figure so kind of athletic?
I mean, there's a lot of pressure for not just models but for girls, for women to look a certain way. And especially as you get older, your body does change, right? Mm-hmm. And it's easy to slip into that mindset of, well, I need to work out every day and I cannot eat a single bar of chocolate. I'm constantly working out. And I used to work out twice a day. I was anorexic.
That's not conducive to a happy, healthy person.
I was so unhappy with, I never liked the way I looked. I was never satisfied. So now I have a happy relationship of, I'll go to the gym maybe 3-4 days a week.
Yeah.
I'll do yoga on the days I don't do it. or sometimes I won't do anything at all. If I feel like my body needs to rest, if I've
Yeah.
been, say if I've done 3 8-hour photo shoots back to back,
Yeah.
why would I then go to the
Well,
gym?
no, then you need
Like-
to lie on the sofa with a nice fluffy blanket.
That's it,
And
that's
maybe
it.
a
But
jacket.
even you see, we're talking about this. Marilyn Monroe was a size 14, wasn't
Yeah.
she?
Yeah, see, this is this, and you know.
I think
The
Diana
misconception
Dawes,
that
she was a
skinny-
size 18. I think Diana Dawes.
Yeah.
Who was like, I mean, she was a British icon, but she wasn't a supermodel.
Mhm.
I've
Anna
got
Nicole Smith, she
Yeah.
was, you know.
Anna Nicole Smith, yeah.
Yeah.
And I think Adele was just as beautiful when she was bigger than now she's
Absolutely, yeah.
smaller.
Absolutely.
I think she was just as beautiful. I can't go, well, that's when you were bigger and you wasn't beautiful, and that's now you're slim and you're beautiful. As a matter of fact, there's an element of it that I always think some of the happiest people that I've ever met in my life would technically be classed as a bigger. And models, I think that in the industry sometimes they're classed as like being I saw a model advertise herself as plus size the other day. She was size 12.
Yeah,
I
that's
don't
always
think
the funny one.
I don't think that's a
And
plus
I don't
size.
get that. No.
Got
To
2%
me,
battery.
the average woman
Yeah.
is a size 12.
So
14.
we've got one last question
Yeah.
to ask you, and this is one of Sarah's. It's not one of the rude ones. And the question was, can you pat your head and rub your tummy at the same time?
I can, I'm wearing a wig, so it's going to get a bit messy up in here. But pat my head and rub my tummy.
Mhm.
There you go.
And I can say the alphabet if you want me to.
Oh my God.
So I'd really like to thank you for watching. Thank you to Kacie and Sarah for being in the video. Like, subscribe. Thank you. So ready?